Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. So in this video, we're going to discuss Geeks for Geeks problem of the day, and today's problem is remove the balls, and it is a medium level problem. So I believe that this problem is more on the easier side of the medium difficulty range, and a similar problem also have been there just a few days before. So the only difference in that problem was here we have something called pairs of integers, and in that particular problem there was a string with exactly the same problem statement. So the problem statement says that we have been given n balls, right? And we have been given two arrays such that the first array represents the color of the ith ball, and the second array represents the radius of the ith ball. Now, if two consecutive balls have the same color and size, they both are removed from the array, and we have to print the final length of the imaginary array, right? Like basically how many balls are left. So like a few days before, the question was exactly the same, but instead of like the radius and color, we just have a string and it had some characters, and we had to remove two consecutive similar characters. So this is the same question, I believe. Now, but I'll still explain it to you. And there is a very small thing that you have to observe, and I'll just explain you with the help of this particular test case. So all these types of questions can be solved in the same way. You just have to know one thing for these types of questions. So for example, this is 1 2, this is 3 3, 5 5, and again 1 2. So you will be able to see that these two elements are exactly same, that their color and radius are matching. So obviously they have to be removed. But there is one very important thing that you will have to observe, that once you remove this particular element, now you will be again having these two together, right? Once these two elements are removed from in between them, these two elements will come together, and again the same thing will happen, that these two are exactly the same, the radius and the colors are the same. Again these two have to be removed, and the final length of the array would be 0. There will be 0 balls left, right? So this is the idea. Now since once you remove certain number of elements from between, the other elements come together, you cannot implement any approach directly, right? You cannot just traverse the whole array and try to remove the consecutive elements, because after it there might be some elements that come together, like this one and this one, right? So this is not what we will be doing. A very simple and yet efficient way to do this problem is by storing the elements into the stack. So I'll tell you what is the advantage of stack. For example, if you store a pair 1 comma 2 in the stack, right? You found the first element, you stored the pair 1 comma 2 in the stack, right? Now you found the second element, you stored the pair 3 comma 5 in the stack. Now the third element you see is 3 comma 5, and it is matching to the top of the stack, right? It is exactly the same as the top of the stack. So instead of inserting it into the stack, what I'll do is I'll pop the top element. So I just pop this particular element 3 comma 5 from the stack, right? Now the next element is 1 comma 2 in my array. So 1 comma 2 is because the color is 1 and the radius is 2, or it might be the other way around, the radius might be 2 and the color might be 1. So let us assume that this is the color, it has to be one of those values, this is the radius, right? So again this is the same pair as the top of the stack. Again we pop the element at the top of the stack, we'll just remove this particular element, right? Now you see our stack is now empty and there are 0 elements in the stack, and we have traversed the complete array. So since the size of the stack is 0, we'll return 0, right? This is what we have to return. So the key idea is, whenever you find you have to use a while loop. While the top of the stack is equal to the next element, we just pop the top element. Why? Because those two elements will be consecutive in the array, and once you pop, whenever this was at the top of the stack and this was the next element, you pop this particular whole element. Now the next element will be consecutive to this one, right? And this will be represented by the top of the stack, right? So we just keep popping all the elements until either the stack should be empty or the top of the stack should not be equal to the next element, right? Once this is true, once this is completed, we just push the next element into the stack, right? So this is a very simple problem, and now we're just going to have a look at the code. Although there is not much in the code, but still, just for the sake of discussion, what I have done is I've created a stack of pair data type, right? So it will be a pair of integers and I've named it current. Now I initialize my index with 0. So I run a while loop while index is less than n. What I do is I just again this outer loop is just to traverse the whole array. Now this inner while loop is to like pop the elements from the stack. So the whole inner loop says that while index is less than n, again I'll have to check the same condition in this particular loop, because while popping the elements, it might happen that I might run out of indexes. So I also have to check in this particular condition here. And current.size means that the stack has at least one element, and current.top is equals to color of index and radius of index. So I'm just making them a pair. So this make pair function will represent them as a pair. So while current.top is equals to this particular pair, I'll just keep popping the elements and I'll increment my index, right? Now once this when we get out of this while loop, what I do is I again check if index is less than n. I just push the current element into the stack and increment my index. So after all the indexes has been finished, we'll get out of this while loop, and after all of this has been done, we can just return the size of the stack. So this was all about today's problem of the day, remove the balls. And I believe that this is the exact copy of the problem that appeared a few days ago. So like this problem should not have been very difficult. So this was all about today's video. I hope you guys were able to understand the solution, and if you did, then please do consider dropping a like on this video and subscribe to this channel. It's always free of cost, and if you don't find the videos interesting later, you can always unsubscribe. So share this channel with your friends, and till the next video drops, keep coding, stay safe, bye bye.